Hello everyone and Merry Christmas! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sandy Cruz and I'm the creator of the iPlanner, iDesign, iJournals, and Keylife, and so much more. What I'm going to show you in this video today are two things. I'm going to give you a tour of the new Keylife Pocket Journaling Album, and I'm going to show you how to make this adorable Dex card. So you're going to pick up a lot of tips in making this because I've actually combined some glitter spatter and the liquid color to make my own pattern fill for the card. And then I splashed some elements all around. Let me deactivate everything so you can take a closer look. So I played making this one, and then I also made this one, and I'm trying to decide which one I'm going to use as the cover for this video. Maybe it'll be the one that I make next to show you guys how I did this. All right, so I'm going to come over to my Dex card, iDesign, Keynote Shapes, and choose a shape that I like. Let's see, maybe this time, maybe I'll use this one. So I'll copy. I'll add a new slide by tapping the plus. And the reason the slide is black is because I took away the background so that I could save as a PNG. I'm going to go ahead and change that though for the video, and then I'll change it back when I'm ready to save it. So I'm going to tap on the slide, tap Edit Master Slide, tap the paintbrush, and you see how the background is set to no background. I'm going to change it back to white. And then I'm done. All right, so let me go ahead and paste that Dex card. And you don't have to use Dex cards. You can use one of the pocket journaling cards. And I'll just show you those real quick. They come in several shapes and sizes. And every size and shape includes a sharp corner and a rounded corner. So you can make the same thing that I do on the Dex card. You can do the exact same thing on one of your pocket cards. And if you want to get really fun, all of these Keylife journaling shapes fit on the pocket cards. So you've got several trimmings for the top or the sides of your card, and then you've got some shapes for the middle so that you can turn them into journaling cards and journal on them. You can fill these with lines, graph, photos, colors, patterns. Sky's the limit. Okay, let's go back over to our Dex card and talk about what I'm going to do, my first steps that I'm going to take. So what I did with my card is this background is a combination of the liquid color, or one of the liquid color pattern fills, and then I also used the paint spatter and filled it with glitter, and that's how I made my background. So let me show you how to do that. And this video may get a little bit long because I want you to learn how to do this because it's just so fun and it's really addicting. So that's just a warning to you. Once you start designing these cards, it's like potato chips. You can't stop. At least that's what's happening to me. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to my ink spatter, iDesign Keynote Shapes, and as you can see, because I've already created a couple cards already, that I've been playing with the ink spatter. And you can fill these with any of the watercolor or liquid color pattern fills and dial down the opacity, and it will look like you spattered your paper with watercolor paint. And it looks very pretty and very realistic. But we're using the glitter because I want a lot of bling on my Merry Christmas card. So I'm going to start from scratch, step by step, so that you guys can repeat these steps to decorate your own cards. So I'm choosing this paint spatter, but you can see there's a lot included in this package. So this is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to add a slide, and I'll go ahead and keep this slide black because I'm going to save it as a PNG to my camera roll right away. Let me paste it and make it as big as my slide. Now I want to fill this with my glitter. So I'll tap the paintbrush, image, and replace. I'm going to go to my bling glitter pattern fills, and I think I'll use this blue here. Maybe the dark blue would be pretty. Oh yeah, I love how that looks. I could also change the fill by double tapping and sliding this over, but I actually like the way this looks, so I'm not going to do that. All right, so now I want to save this to my camera roll as a PNG. So I've got the black background. If I didn't have the black background, I would tap on the slide, tap Edit Master Slide, tap the paintbrush, and I would change the background to the one that says no fill. and then done. Now I want to export it to my camera roll. I'm going to tap on the 3 dots, export, images, and I want to make sure that PNG is checked. I also only want to save this slide to my camera roll. I don't want it to save all of these slides. So I'm going to select the range, and since it's slide 2, I'll just set both of these at 2, and now I'm ready to export to my camera roll. To get it to the camera roll, you're just going to choose select or save image, and now it's in my camera roll. The next step is I want to make the liquid color paper with the glitter overlay on it. So to do that, I'm going to go to my iDesign patterns, and these are the patterns. There's several of them, and there's so much you can do with these. They all have separate designs on them that you can recolor with glitter, photos, patterns, colors, anything, and you can just create your own patterns to fill your cards with. So you can get very detailed and very customized here. For what I'm doing, I only need this square. So I'm going to tap copy, and I'll tap the plus, add a slide, and tap paste. I'll make this as big as my slide, and I don't need this part, so I'll double tap it and tap delete, because this is really all I need is just this square, and I'm making it as wide as my slide. All right, now I'm ready to fill it with my liquid color, and I have all my pattern fills in my album, so I can very quickly get to them and create something beautiful. So here's the liquid color. It comes in several colors. I'm going to use, I think, this light blue. That glitter is going to look gorgeous over it. All right, so now that's filled. So there's my paper background, but I want to put that glitter on top of it. So to do that, I'm going to tap the plus, and I'm going to go to my camera roll and get that very recent glitter that I made. Adjust the placement. So now I've got 2 layers on top of each other. I can save this to my camera roll and crop it, but I'm not going to need to crop it because it's actually going to crop to my Dex Card shape. So I won't need to go to the camera roll and crop it. But if you were going to use it for something else, or if you were making paper, pattern paper, you would probably want to go to the camera roll and crop out these margin, top and the bottom. So I'll go ahead and just export it to the camera roll as is. Images, slide 2. And I don't need it to be a PNG this time. I'm going to do a high quality JPEG, and then export and save the image. So that's in my camera roll now. And like I said, since I'm not going to make it into paper, I don't have to worry about cropping out the margins for what I'm going to be using it for. I may go back later and do that though, because I think this is really pretty paper. All right, so now here we are at our Dex Card, and this is going to be so cool. I'm going to tap it, and I'm going to tap the paintbrush, replace, and go to that paper that I saved to the camera roll. I'm double tapping because I want to make it a little bigger and adjust the placement. I like how that looks. And I also want to add a drop shadow, and I'm going to use the generic, the default that's selected. And all you have to do is just turn on the shadow slide, and this is automatically selected for you. You have some other options here, but this is one of my favorites. It's very subtle. It doesn't make your card look like an unidentified flying object hovering over your page. Yep, that made it real nice. Now I want to add my text. So I'm going to tap the plus, and then I'm going to tap the shapes option, and here's the text. I'll double tap, I'll type Mary. And now I'll double tap it again, and I want to make the font bigger, so I'll tap on the paintbrush and adjust the size by hitting plus sign. I think on the last card that I did, I brought it to 90 or maybe 95. And I also want to change the color to white, and I'm going to change the font. And I'm going to use 2 fonts for the whole quote. It's going to say Merry Christmas All. So for Mary, I'm going to use this font, and I think it still needs to be a little bit bigger now that I changed the font. That looks good. Okay, I also want to tilt it, so to do that I have to lock down my card, otherwise I'll grab the card, I'm sure. So I tap the paintbrush, arrange, and lock. All right, now I won't grab the card trying to rotate the text. I also want to add a drop shadow to this, a very subtle drop shadow, because I don't want it to look like it's floating in the air. So for this, I'm going to tap the paintbrush and style, and just turn on the shadow and leave it at the default drop shadow. Okay, now I want the rest of my text. I'm going to tap the plus, the shapes, and text. And I'll do the same thing that I did with Mary. Type Christmas, and I want all below it, and I want it all caps. And that's already centered. If it wasn't already centered, I would make sure that all the text was selected, and I would tap the paintbrush, text, and choose this alignment right here. All right, this obviously needs to be bigger. Let me change the font first. For this part, I'm going to use Lobster because it's nice and chunky. And I want to change the color to white, and I'm going to make it much bigger. Okay, 95 is good. Going to add a drop shadow, use the default drop shadow, and then position it on my card. All right, now I'm ready to splash some elements all around this card. So let's take a look at the one I already did. As you can see, I put some jewels and some glitter snowflakes. So that's our next step. For this, I'm going to tap the plus, and I want to go to my Dropbox where I know all those elements are. So I'm going to tap Photos, Insert From, and then I want to browse to my Dropbox. And of course your elements might be located in iCloud, and you may have a different filing system than me, so only you'll know how to get to where your elements are saved. And mine, I have to twirl down pretty far to get to mine. They are pretty buried on my computer. I love that I can access everything that's on my computer here on my iPad. I mean, that is just awesome. Okay, I finally am at my elements, and I want one of the snowflakes, and it's this gray one that I want, this dark charcoal gray. And I'll resize it and rotate it a little bit, paste another one, and I'll copy it because I want several splashed all around. So I'll paste it. Hope I'm not making anybody dizzy the way I keep zooming in and out. Paste another one, rotate, resize. I have to make it kind of big to rotate it because I can't always grab something that has thin stems to it. Text is hard to rotate too. Okay, I think I've got enough snowflake because I'm still going to add some jewels. So to do that, I'm going to do the same thing. I've got to navigate to that same folder. Tap on the plus, tap on the photos, insert from. Oh good, it took me to the same folder, so I didn't have to navigate to it. Here's the jewel that I want, and I'm going to keep this one the size that it is and copy it, paste, and I'll make this one tiny, tiny. I need it even tinier than that because I want it to dot my eye in Christmas. Are you catching on how addicting this could possibly get? I mean, I just love making these. I've made so many cards since these card shapes have launched. I make journaling cards and Dex cards. Like every idle moment and every break that I take, I'm making cards. I have quite a collection now. Let's see, does that look balanced? I need some more. I need maybe 2 more. Okay. And my card is basically done. I could add drop shadows to all the jewels if I want to. Let's see how one looks with a drop shadow on it. I think I want to add that to all of them. I wish I'd added it to the first one, because if I would have added it to the first one, they would all automatically have pasted on with the drop shadow. Hindsight, right? Maybe I'll just do it to the big ones for now. But you get the idea. There's a lot you can do with these cards. And if you've got all the iDesign shapes and the elements and the patterns, there is literally no end to what you can create. So here I go. I'm turning on the drop shadow on all of them anyway. I like how it looks. It looks more dimensional. Wait. One more. Okay, so now what would I do with this now that I've made this card? Well, I could do several things. I can copy and paste it to my computer. I can email it to someone. I can text it to someone. I can put it in my iPlanner. You can make it any size that you want once you get it over to GoodNotes in your planner. Or I can put it in the new Keylife Pocket Journaling Album, which I'm going to tour with you right now. So let me go ahead and select all and copy so that I'm ready to paste it into my album. But if I wanted to send this to somebody, or if I wanted to save it as a PNG, what I would do is I would tap on my slide, edit the master slide, tap on the paintbrush, and turn the background off. Tap done, and then I will tap the 3 squares or the 3 circles in the upper right corner, tap export images, make sure that PNG is what is checked, and I also want to isolate the one slide because I don't want to save all the slides. And now I'm ready to export. And I can export this to several places. I could message myself, I could email it to someone, but I'm going to save the image to the camera roll. And now that it's saved to the camera roll, I'll go over there and crop it to the size, because remember, it'll save it as big as the slide. So I'll have to crop out the 2 margins, but I'm not going to worry about doing that right now. I know that it's safe and sound over there, and I could just do that later. All right, so I select all, copy, and let's go over to the new album. So this is the Keylife Pocket Journaling Album. This is one of the covers. It comes with 6 covers, as you can see here. And to change one of the covers so that it's your thumbnail for this particular album, you'll just press and hold, and you can drag it to the beginning. It has to be the first page of the album in order to show up as your thumbnail. So let's go to the thumbnail view, and here you can see that the one that I put in the first position is the one that's going to show, and it's real easy to change them around. Another thing that I'll do, which I haven't done here yet, is I will customize my tabs. I'll change the colors and I'll label them. You can label them, there's 12 of them, so you can label them, one for each month of the year, and then behind each tab you can do a pocket journaling page, 1 per week, 1 per day. You can do a couple of them a week, just whatever. How it's very addicting, so you might end up with a very full album by the end of the year. Another thing you can use these albums for is just events, such as anniversaries, weddings. You could make one whole wedding album in these. I have some users that are using them for their recipe card. They're putting their recipe cards in the pockets. The labels that come on all the covers are separate from the cover, so that you can cut them and paste them over your label, so it doesn't look like, so it looks like they're behind the label, like realistically you slide it down in between here, but of course we're just giving that illusion. So let me just show you how you would do that. You tap and hold, tap edit, and then I will either move it to the side and insert my label. Another thing you can do is you can just put text in here if you want, if you don't want to make a label to put behind it. Some people like to use textured paper so that it looks like cardstock that went inside. You can also put a little opacity, take the opacity down a little bit to make it look like there's a clear film over it, like a matte window over it. So there's so many things that you can do. But once you get your label the way you want it, you would edit, and you have to drag it over here to the side, because you can't lasso or isolate it without also grabbing the album cover. So I pulled it over here, and now I'm going to hit the lasso tool, and I'll just kind of lasso the corners to make sure that I don't grab the album too. And then I will cut and then press and hold and paste it back over my label. Now if you have custom tabs that you made to put here, and that comes, those tab shapes come with the album. So all you would do is you would fill them with color and put text over them in Keynote, and then you would copy the whole strip of tabs and bring them over here. However, you want them behind the album cover. So to do that, you would just lasso the album cover and the label, move it out of the way, place your tabs, and then once your tabs are in position and sized to the album, then you would cut the album and the label and then paste it, and that way it will cover up the tabs. And I have a whole other video on filling the tabs if you're not sure how to do that. But like I said, it comes with the album, so you have them ready to fill and label and bring over to your album. All right, let's look at the rest of the covers. This one would be nice for a Christmas album, and this is a bit neutral for a baby boy. Same here. This would be pretty for either a boy or a girl, I guess. A newborn. A wedding, it would be really pretty for a wedding. But you can make your own, because the package comes with everything you need to customize your own covers. So you could even put a photo pocket on the cover of your album. All right, so now we're getting into the templates. The very first template is an open pocket. The only stitching on it are the 3 sides. So this works nicely for if you do your layout in Keynote, the whole layout, 12 by 12, and then come over and just paste the whole layout in this pocket. And you know what? I ruined the memory on my iPad of the Dex card that I made when I copied it, because I copied and pasted the covers. So I'm going to have to go back and get that card. But let's just flip through some of these templates. There's 90 templates. 90 pages of templates in here, and you've got a left and a right, and that makes up for the 90 pocket pages. I made all these cards in Keynote using the Warm and Cozy Winter. I used the Holiday Dazzle, and I also used the Merry Everything. So I used 3 Christmas kits to combine all these cards, and like I said, they're addicting. They're like potato chips. You just can't stop. There's one card that I saved. That was the last one that I did. I was trying to see what size pocket that fits in best. And I'll show you some of the stuff that I've already done in another album, just to give you some examples of what you can do. And now we've come to the tabs. And the tabs are clear, open pocket pages. You can design covers, and that also comes with the package. You can design the cover. It's got the spirals cut out for you. I like to do a heading and then a pocket card just to show what is beyond this tab. So there's 12 of those. They all look the same. They're not decorated yet, of course, so there's no point in going through those. But let me go to the album that I've already made some things in. So I've customized this cover and these tabs so you see how they look once you've put colors on the tabs in Keynote. I made this pattern paper by layering some polka dot paper in the back, and I just kept duplicating the elements as a half drop repeat and saved it to the camera roll and just filled the cover shape with it. So let's see, this is kind of a plain one. These labels come with the package as well. This was another custom one that I made, and I filled all the tabs. So let's look at some of the pages that I've done. This is something, I've created these in Keynote, and then I just copied the whole thing and pasted it into the open page that just has the stitching on the 3 sides. Here's some more pocket cards I made. I was making patterns and filling the pocket cards with the patterns. You can't stop once you start. Your collection just grows and grows because, like I said, they're so addicting. They're really fun to make. This is a Bible journaling page that I made. I used all the same size pockets and the same size pocket cards, and they're all portrait oriented. And that's how I filled all those pockets. This was a holiday event. I documented the year and that it was Halloween. And some of the photos, I zoomed in on certain things in the photos and filled the pocket cards with the photos. Like I said, you can fill them with photos, patterns, colors, lines, grids, so that you can journal inside. More pocket cards. Are the wheels turning yet? Are you getting some ideas? These are journaling cards that I made. I made them in Keynote, and the shapes here are the pocket journaling shapes. And that's another iDesign Keynote shape. And you can fill those with anything. I used the iDesign banner template to put this across, and then I used some grid paper, so this card I could actually write on, as well as this one and this one. And then I put some floral bullet points. And if you don't have any ideas, or if you feel like your imagination just isn't working or not creative enough, just go to Pinterest and type in pocket cards, and you will get a lot of ideas. And I guarantee if you've got a stash of iDesign shapes and patterns, you can pretty much replicate anything you can find on Pinterest. These are Dex cards that I did. And this template with the squares, I think it's, what is it for? Wait, the page is 12 inches, so they're 4x4s. 3 4x4s across and down. So the 4x4 squares are perfect for the Dex cards. So let's go get the one that I made. I need to recopy that to the clipboard. Select all, copy, and let's paste it onto this page. Oh, I still had my card locked. We have to unlock the Dex card first, then it will let me take it over there with everything else. Select all, copy, paste. I hope you guys poured a big cup of tea or hot chocolate before you started watching this video. I thought it would turn out kind of long. Fits in that square perfectly. Isn't that adorable? Wasn't that fun to make? All right, let's see if I have anything else to show you in this album. I make these journaling cards, and these are, I think they're the 3x3 squares. And I love filling the rounded corner squares and then putting just a slight drop shadow on them. And I'll just decorate with some of the other iDesign shapes. I love this font. Put in the description what the font is if I can remember. If not, one of you guys can remind me in the comments. But I love journaling Bible scriptures on these little cards. And when I make one, I'll stick it in these pockets. I think this is probably my favorite pocket journal card shape. I have so much fun with these. And they're so fast and simple to make. And I think that is all I have going on in this album. Let me know if you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe and like my video. If you subscribe, then you will be notified every time I make a new video. And if you like the video, it makes me feel really warm inside and loved, because I love you guys and I want you to have a very, very Merry Christmas. And if I don't talk to you before New Year's, have an awesome New Year, everyone. Until next time, bye.